Ramadan preparation. Doing 7 sets before Ramadan. First step: try to eliminate the things that keep you busy before Ramadan. Eliminate Ramadan distractions. Eliminating the things that keep you busy before Ramadan means identifying and removing activities or tasks that may consume a significant amount of time and energy from your daily routine, leaving you with more free time and mental space to focus on your spiritual growth during the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is a time of introspection, spiritual reflection, and renewal. For many Muslims, it is an opportunity to draw closer to Allah, develop a stronger connection with the Quran, and engage in acts of worship such as prayer, charity, and fasting. However, during the weeks leading up to Ramadan, it can be easy to become preoccupied with various distractions and obligations, such as work, social events, or other commitments. These distractions can prevent you from fully preparing for the month of Ramadan, and may even leave you feeling overwhelmed and stressed. To avoid this, you can start by taking an inventory of your daily activities and identifying those that are not essential or can be postponed until after Ramadan. This may include limiting your social media usage, reducing the time spent on entertainment or hobbies, and delegating tasks that can be done by others. By eliminating these distractions, you can create more time and space in your daily routine to engage in acts of worship and spiritual reflection. This can help you to approach Ramadan with a clearer mind and a more focused mindset, enabling you to make the most of this blessed month. Second stage: minimize contact with people, and minimize relationships that are not mutually beneficial. Ramadan is a holy month in the Islamic calendar, during which Muslims observe a period of fasting, prayer, and reflection. One of the key principles of Ramadan is to focus on self-discipline and spiritual growth, and this can be achieved by minimizing contact with people and minimizing relationships that are not mutually beneficial. Minimizing contact with people during Ramadan is important because it allows Muslims to focus on their spiritual growth and connect with Allah without distractions. This means that they may avoid socializing or attending gatherings that are not essential or do not align with their spiritual goals during the month of Ramadan. Additionally, minimizing relationships that are not mutually beneficial is also important during Ramadan. This means that Muslims should seek to build relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and support. These relationships should help individuals grow spiritually and become better versions of themselves. By minimizing contact with people and relationships that are not mutually beneficial, Muslims can focus on their spiritual growth during Ramadan. This can lead to a greater sense of inner peace, happiness, and fulfillment, as they develop a closer relationship with Allah and become more aligned with their true purpose in life. Third step: calculate the daily routine of the month of Sha'ban to know the reason for your shortcomings. Sha'ban in the Islamic calendar and how it relates to self-reflection and self-improvement. Sha'ban is the 8th month of the Islamic calendar, which precedes the holy month of Ramadan. During this month, Muslims often engage in various acts of worship, such as voluntary fasting, recitation of the Quran, and performing additional prayers. In terms of self-reflection and self-improvement, it is believed that the month of Sha'ban is a time to assess one's spiritual progress and identify areas for improvement. Muslims are encouraged to reflect on their daily routines and habits to identify any shortcomings or areas where they can make improvements. For example, one might reflect on how they spend their time during the day and identify any habits or behaviors that are not in line with their values or goals. They might then make a conscious effort to change these habits and replace them with more positive ones. Overall, the month of Sha'ban is seen as a time of preparation for the holy month of Ramadan, which is considered the most sacred month in the Islamic calendar. By reflecting on one's daily routine and identifying areas for improvement during Sha'ban, Muslims can enter Ramadan with a renewed sense of purpose and focus on their spiritual growth and development. Fourth step: practice some of Ramadan's acts of worship such as fasting, tahajjud, and reciting more. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, and it is a very special time for Muslims worldwide. During Ramadan, Muslims observe fasting from dawn until sunset, which means that they abstain from food, drink, and other physical needs during the daylight hours. Fasting during Ramadan is considered one of the most significant acts of worship in Islam, and it has many benefits for both the physical and spiritual health of individuals. Fasting helps people to develop self-discipline, patience, and empathy for those who are less fortunate. Another important act of worship during Ramadan is tahajjud, which is an optional night prayer that can be performed after the Isha prayer and before the Fajr prayer. It is a voluntary prayer, and it is highly recommended during Ramadan. Tahajjud prayer helps Muslims to deepen their connection with Allah, seek forgiveness for their sins, and ask for blessings and guidance. In addition to fasting and tahajjud prayer, Muslims are encouraged to recite more Quran during Ramadan. The Quran is the holy book of Islam, and it contains the words of Allah that were revealed to Prophet Muhammad, Pbuh. Reciting the Quran during Ramadan helps Muslims to understand the message of Islam better, gain spiritual rewards, and develop a closer relationship with Allah. Overall, practicing acts of worship during Ramadan is a way for Muslims to strengthen their faith, purify their souls, and seek forgiveness for their sins. It is also a time to focus on charitable acts, kindness, and compassion toward others. Fifth step: supplicate as much as possible that Allah may bless you in your life and deeds, and bless you in Shaban and Ramadan. The statement is an expression of supplication, or a prayer, requesting Allah's blessings for the person making the supplication. The supplication specifically asks Allah to bless the person in their life and deeds, as well as during the months of Shaban and Ramadan. In Islam, supplication is an important aspect of worship and is considered a means of connecting with Allah and seeking His help and guidance. Muslims are encouraged to make supplications frequently, and it is believed that Allah responds to the sincere prayers of His believers. Shaban is the 8th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, and Ramadan is the 9th month. Ramadan is a holy month during which Muslims fast from dawn until sunset and engage in increased acts of worship and charity. Shaban, which precedes Ramadan, is also considered a sacred month, and some Muslims engage in additional acts of worship during this time to prepare for Ramadan. Therefore, the supplication is a request for Allah's blessings in all aspects of the person's life and during the important months of Shaban and Ramadan. It is a reminder to the person making the supplication to turn to Allah for guidance and to seek His blessings in all their endeavors. Sixth step: when this month approaches, remind your family and practice those who are worthy of fasting. Fasting is a religious or spiritual practice in which individuals abstain from food or certain types of food for some time. Different religions have different fasting practices, and some individuals may also fast for health or personal reasons. In this statement, it is suggested that when a certain month approaches, the person should remind their family and practice fasting with those who are deemed worthy. The speaker may be referring to a religious month in which fasting is traditionally observed, such as Ramadan in Islam, or Lent in Christianity. By reminding their family and fasting with those who are worthy, the speaker may be emphasizing the importance of community and support in practicing fasting. It is also possible that the speaker is implying that fasting should be done with intention and purpose, and not simply as a physical or ritualistic act. Overall, the statement appears to be encouraging the practice of fasting within a religious or spiritual context and emphasizing the importance of doing so with a sense of community and purpose. Seventh step: set some special time for yourself, in which to remember Allah, the Lord of the worlds, with solitude, to purify the soul. This statement suggests that it is beneficial to set aside a specific time for oneself to engage in private worship and remembrance of Allah, the Lord of the worlds. This dedicated time can be used to purify and cleanse one's soul, as well as to deepen one's connection with God. In Islam, the act of remembering Allah, dhikr, is highly valued and encouraged. It can take many forms, such as reciting the Quran, offering prayers, making supplications, or simply reflecting on God's greatness and mercy. By engaging in these practices regularly and with intention, Muslims believe that they can strengthen their faith, seek forgiveness for their sins, and increase their mindfulness of God in all aspects of their lives. Solitude is also emphasized in Islamic teachings as a means of drawing closer to God. By withdrawing from the distractions and noise of the world, one can focus more fully on spiritual matters and cultivate a deeper awareness of God's presence. This can be especially important in today's fast-paced and technology-driven world, where it can be easy to become disconnected from one's inner self and the divine. Overall, setting aside special time for oneself to remember Allah in solitude is a powerful way to enhance one's spiritual growth and well-being. It can provide a much-needed respite from the busyness of daily life and offer a space for quiet reflection and connection with the divine.